Okay, so here we're going to talk about the default structure of a verbal sentence. So in front of us is a sentence, and I've divided the words of the sentence. So we have أعطى, which is a verb, Muhammadun is the doer, Khalidan is the first object, and Kitaban is the second object. So أعطى محمد خالدا كتابا, which means Muhammad gave Khalid a book. Now the way this sentence is being arranged is the normal default structure, which is we have the verb mentioned first, followed by the fa'il or the doer, then followed by the first object, and then the second object. And obviously, depending on which verb is being used, there might be one object, there might be no objects. But the thing to note is the verb will always come first, followed by the doer, and then the object. Now, when the default structure is used, you can think of it as new information to the listener, or that the sentence is being given without a spotlight to any word in the sentence. Now in English, we have Muhammad gave Khalid a book. So one thing to note about English is that we can't rearrange the words in the sentence. This is the only way to write this sentence. So for example, if I changed Muhammad and Khalid around, it will change the doer and the object of the sentence. Now, what happens when we change the position of words? This is where it gets very interesting. So this is the default structure of the sentence. Now, there's an important point to note. Whichever word or words we put in front of the verb will give more importance to it. So for example, we have this sentence here. So what's happening here is Khalid is being put in front of the verb. So Khalidan أعطى محمد كتابا, while the rest of the words are in their normal positions. Now what's happening in this is there's actually a spotlight to Khalid. There's more emphasis on Khalid in this sentence than there is on Muhammad or Kitab. So what meanings are associated with this? To constrict the action only to Khalid, meaning that Muhammad gave a book only to Khalid and no one else. That's one meaning associated with bringing Khalid in front. Also, it could be done to remove doubt of the listener. So if the listener, for example, that's hearing it, thinks that Muhammad gave Amr a book, to remove this doubt, we will mention Khalid first. So it's not what you think. It's not Amr, it's Khalidan أعطى محمد كتابا. Another reason, to indicate the importance or the high rank of Khalid. So that's just some of the meanings associated with putting Khalid in front. And we could do that with any of the words. So we can put Kitab, for example, in front, or Muhammad, and make it a nominal sentence. The point to note is, whatever word or words we put in front of the verb, it will give more importance to those words. So this is in Surah Fatiha. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ اهْدِنَا الصِّرَاطَ الْمُسْتَقِيمِ. So specifically I want to speak about the verbs here. So we have two present tense verbs, نَعْبُدُ and نَسْتَعِينُ. But you notice something, the objects of both of these verbs is coming in front. إِيَّاكَ and إِيَّاكَ. So in a normal verbal sentence that we spoke about, it should be نَعْبُدُكَ and نَسْتَعِينُكَ. But this kaf is coming in front. So if you look at the translation, it says, it is you we worship, and you we ask for help. If it was نَعْبُدُكَ وَنَسْتَعِينُكَ, then this would be a good translation of that. But the fact that there's restriction here, in both cases, it should be actually translated as, it is you alone we worship, and it is you alone we ask for help. And the greatest of these things is the ayah or the verse that comes after it. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. Guide us to the straight path. So this is something that Allah can only do. And notice one thing here. We have a command verb. The doer of this command is anta, you. So this is actually a dua from us, the one who reads this or recites this, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we're asking Allah to guide us. Ihdi na. You notice here the object is coming after the verb. That's the normal structure of a verbal sentence. So there's no restriction there. Now let's assume that this object was put in front here. A similar way to the previous verse. Iyana ihdi. This would actually be incorrect because we're actually restricting the guidance to us specifically. Only guide us to the straight path. This would be actually incorrect to say because we want guidance for everybody. For us, for those close to us, for Muslims and for non-Muslims. So may Allah guide us to the straight path. So this is an introduction to the verbal sentence. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.